In a world teetering on the brink of apocalyptic infection, the life of every cell within the human body was a battle for survival. Among the countless red blood cells that coursed through the host's veins, there was Ryan, a rookie who once dreamt of a perfect life. But those dreams turned into a nightmare when the body became infested with deadly bacteria. As he struggled to navigate this perilous microcosm, he crossed paths with Lexia, one of the hottest white blood cell warriors responsible for vanquishing deadly viruses. On his very first day, Ryan learned that his life's mission was to deliver the precious cargo of oxygen to every nook and cranny of the body through a network of blood vessels. With rigorous training behind them, the class was divided into groups and dispatched to various stations. Ryan's group arrived late at their station, facing the wrath of their disgruntled team leader who despised dealing with new recruits. As punishment, each rookie was burdened with 2 heavy boxes of life-giving oxygen, a grim reminder of the body's deteriorating health. The rush of red blood cells began as the aortic valve opened, pushing their laden carts through the bloodstream. Along the way, Ryan's late arrival irked the chief gastric cell, who berated him despite his rookie status. Mistakes were a luxury they couldn't afford in this ailing body. Years of neglect, overindulgence, and unhealthy choices had pushed the host body to the brink. While collecting oxygen crates, Ryan encountered Roger, a seasoned red blood cell who offered to help him on his perilous journey to deliver oxygen to the brain. As they traversed the blood vessel, they discovered the clogs caused by a malevolent substance known as cholesterol, deposited by the infamous LDL gang from the liver. Their actions threatened to trigger a catastrophic heart attack, and Roger was determined to stop them. As Ryan completed his first oxygen delivery, tragedy struck when their team leader was caught in a gas explosion, his body reacting adversely to the fumes. Roger's grim words of the team leader's fate resonated deeply. He referred to the infected red blood cells as cell zombies, a haunting reminder of the grim reality they faced. To make matters worse, marauding bacteria suddenly emerged, feasting on the infected cells. As they closed in on Ryan and Roger, Lexia, the formidable white blood cell, arrived, her blade slicing through the invaders with swift precision. Ryan was captivated by her courage and her impressive nucleus. Roger reminded him of their primary duty as red blood cells, to deliver oxygen, regardless of the cost or consequences. Roger made a selfless sacrifice by venturing into the polluted blood vessel to ensure oxygen reached the brain. Ryan was left grieving his mentor and contemplating the same fate. However, Lexia intervened, preventing him from meeting Roger's tragic end. Together, they journeyed to the lungs to deliver vital gases. There, they discovered that the carbon monoxide poisoning had been caused by the host's smoking habit, raising questions about the self-destructive nature of the body. On his way back, Ryan encountered a striking macrophage, whose clothing bore the stains of bacteria she had slain. Startled, she nearly attacked him, mistaking him for an intruder. Yet, her pained smile revealed the collective stress that gripped the oral cavity. Ryan eventually returned with the oxygen canister, only to find the mucosal cells aflame due to a mouth ulcer outbreak. As he rushed to get his receipt stamped, an explosion within the cavity sent him tumbling. His receipt was consumed by the flames, leaving him in despair. Amidst the rupture in the mouth ulcer, a horde of hideous bacteria emerged, closing in on Ryan. Just as they were about to strike, Lexia and 2 other white blood cells intervened, vanquishing the invaders with a technique called phagocytosis. The oral cavity was cleansed, and Lexia commended Ryan for his resilience. Back in the blood vessel, the rookies vented their frustrations, only to be approached by 2 seasoned red blood cells aiming to lift their spirits. The sprinklers released grape juice into the bloodstream, and the older cells suggested taking a break. Reluctant at first, Ryan gave in and tried the special drink called ADH, designed to reduce stress. It quickly took effect, as a black haze surrounded the cells, and they let out their pent-up anger. Ryan, witnessing the laziness of his colleagues, couldn't help but lose his temper. But after some insight from an older red cell, he realized the challenges they all faced due to the host's unhealthy lifestyle. Hours later, Ryan apologized to the head hepatocyte for his earlier outburst. The night of relaxation and fun eventually drew to a close, and the red blood cells were ready to return to their duties. Tragically, they were 1 cell short, as the older red cell had passed away in the arms of a hepatocyte. Ryan couldn't help but shed tears for the loss of two close allies and mentors. Before departing, the head hepatocyte gave him a kiss, but his embarrassment was compounded when Lexia appeared. He tried to explain the situation, but Lexia cautioned him about being wary of gold diggers. In the brain, the chief brain cell urged his colleagues to prepare for a crucial mission. Despite warnings about the body's unhealthy lifestyle, they were left with no choice but to proceed. An announcement echoed throughout the body, instructing all cells to drop their duties and assemble. The mission was to create an opportunity for plot development by filling the spongy region in the man's plot. Ryan confessed that he had never experienced plot development, drawing mockery from two older red blood cells. Yet, Lexia's swift intervention made them retract their taunts. Together, they joined a group tasked with patrolling to the testes while fulfilling their oxygen delivery responsibilities. At the testes, Ryan marveled at the potential of sperm cells that would contribute to the creation of all cells in the body. His excitement surged as they embarked on the mission, expanding the artery walls and filling the spongy tissue to trigger plot development. Despite challenges, they managed to induce full plot development. However, as the golden compound necessary for sustaining it began to decline, the mission hung in the balance. They overcame the odds and completed the mission, but Ryan was left grappling with the revelation that not all plot developments were for creating life. Lexia interrupted his thoughts with alarming news about their safety, leaving us hanging on the edge of our seats, eager to find out what comes next in this gripping tale of cellular survival and intrigue. In the intricate labyrinth of the human body, a battle of life and death raged on. The body's defenses had faltered, allowing a ruthless invasion by an army of killer bacteria known as chlamydia. Amidst the chaos, a fearless white blood cell named Lexia rallied her comrades while urging the red blood cells, led by the determined Ryan, to find safety. Lexia and her fellow white blood cells braced themselves at the urethra, facing off against the relentless HIV. In the midst of this turmoil, an AIDS soldier sought an unlikely connection with a white blood cell, only to meet her unwavering resistance. What followed was a clash of wills, and the very essence of their existence hung in the balance. Meanwhile, in the bustling city of the body, anxiety loomed as notorious gonorrhea threatened their lives. Back at the urethra, Lexia and her valiant white blood cells grappled with herpes monsters, but their numbers were quickly overwhelmed. Witnessing the grim tide of battle, Lexia made a painful decision, ordering a retreat. Word of their hard-fought yet humiliating defeat reached the general of the white blood cell army, who declared war on the HPV cells. The call went out, summoning all available white blood cells to a military base known as the lymph node, where they would receive their next orders. On their path to the lymph node, Lexia and her comrades encountered impatient red blood cells who accused them of negligence. Despite the stinging words, Lexia held her emotions in check, assuring the red blood cells that the situation was being handled. At the lymph node, the general rallied the white blood cells, urging them to spare no effort in eradicating the gonocaci from the body. Leading the charge, Captain Lisa and her troops returned to the battlefield, aware that the odds were stacked against them. Their mission seemed futile, but their determination burned brightly. Ryan, entrusted with the vital task of delivering oxygen, ventured into the heart of danger alongside the timid Jim. As they approached the scene of battle, they came across fallen white blood cells, casualties of a brutal encounter with syphilis. An ambush by a yellow fever cell put their lives at risk, but a lone white blood cell sprang to their defense, using her last reserves of strength to eliminate the threat.